Dudes, it's Gaz, and welcome back to another Warframe video. We got the first weekly reset with the new Elite Temporal Archimedea added to Warframe. And yeah, a ton of stuff to cover. We will be actually changing the structure of this video starting today, not covering some of the stuff as much as we did before. First, weekly reset item though is going to be 3 format attention. And yeah, we're also live on stream right now. If you want to enter a Omni Forma bundle giveaway, we'll be doing that right after this video goes up. So if you're watching it live, you might still have time to enter the giveaway. So yeah, the new Elite Temporal Archimedea is going to be a new, pretty much end game mission that's going to be on the newest tile set, the Havania Mall. So that one is going to involve you being rank 5 with the new syndicate, and it's also going to require you to have some game knowledge of a different mechanic called Netra cells. Those Netra cells are going to be, there's going to be Netra cell search pulses, and those search pulses will be associated to the Whispers of the Wall tile set, the Kavia. So you have 5 search pulses per week, and this new mission will involve you using 2 of those search pulses to activate it. So we'll talk about it more when we get to it. But yeah, just a heads up, the new Elite mission we're talking about today is going to be involving rank 5 required. Another weekly item over here is at the Dorma Zone. We've got an Orokin Catalyst. You can use this with Pathos Clamps that you can get from the Aura Worm. A pretty nice thing to have with all these new infested Lich weapons being available. You need lots of those Catalysts to level them up with max mod capacity. So, good stuff there. But let's go ahead and cover the new content, because the new content is the most relevant content. And yeah, this new Elite Temporal Archimedea might be pretty difficult for some players that don't have the best gear, or maybe not the best RNG for gear. But this calendar buff over here is going to give you buffs that will work inside that mission. Now, I would like to let you guys know that this actually did get changed recently. It was actually giving fully built Omniformas. This will now give Omniforma blueprints as of the most recent update. So this week you can get a affinity booster, or some Kuva, I guess, technically. And as far as the buffs, you got knokw giving attack speed, harden up giving easy overshields, or sonic feedback giving AoE rad procs whenever you get damaged. After that, you can get another Exilus weapon adapter or a arcane. And then you can also get a guaranteed orange shard, which is nice. The new Elite mission can drop Tau versions of this too, which are very, very nice. Or 2 arcanes. And you also got a melee arcane adapter. And as far as your next buffs, you got Redemptive Chance. Looks like a new buff here. Killing enemies has a chance of reviving as allied specters and a 1% chance per status proc. Last 30 seconds. Wow. So you can make like a zombie army? Yeah, these will work in the new mission. So this could be interesting to make specters of enemies. That's extremely interesting. I wonder how many of those you could have. Next one, Free Shot. Triggering a status proc has a chance to reload a bolt into the clip. This is very, very good for a carrier spam Mirage. If you're trying to speed run through the infested Lich hunts, great option right here. And then also Involuntary Transfusion. Weak point kills have a chance to drop Universal Orbs. So I'll probably go for one of those 2 crazy ones right there. Next, you've got another Orokin Catalyst available. And then the final buffs this week will be Bottled Lightning, giving electricity to all your weapons. Practice Precision, giving crit chance to your melees. Or Broaden Horizons, giving more range on energy or pickup. And your final drop is going to be a Forma Blueprint or Exilus Weapon Adapter. This is definitely not the best looking loot from that weekly compared to before. But yeah, DE did patch it where you're no longer getting that fully built Omniform. The Omniformas are the new near universal polarity formas. Okay, so another quick thing too. This is not tied to the weekly reset, but the new Coda base assist is still available for another couple days here, and it is not the best roll, but it's a very, very powerful weapon. I'd recommend you grab it before it goes away in a couple days. But yeah, here's your new weekly here called the Elite Temporal Archimedea. This is going to require rank 5, like I said, and as far as, the best stuff to get here, the Arcane Hotshot can give 300% crit chance to all weapons. I'll have a video on that coming out in about 12 hours, but for right now, here's your Elite Temporal Archimedea. Okay, first mission, Legacyte Harvest, basically a capture. To complete this, you need... Okay, well, actually, to complete this, you just think you need to beat 1 round, but the modifiers are as follows. Parallel Evolution. As the Legacyte evolves, other enemies present also gain new abilities. Okay, they might actually make you stay here longer than just 1 capture if that modifier exists, so interesting there. Bold Venture. Enemies deal less damage and take increased damage, but also gain increased movement speed, attack speed, and fire rate. Not too bad. And Bolstered Belligerents. All enemies that overguard equal to 50% of their maximum health. Should be pretty easy to get this done. This actually looks like a totally free mission. It depends how many legacytes they make you capture. Next, Exterminate. Should be pretty fast. Enemies take 95% less damage from non-weak point hits. Scaldra and Tekra have really easy weak points, thankfully, so that's an easy one right there. Excessive Explosions. All supply crates are being replaced with explosive barrels. That should be funny. And then the last one, Corrupted Flesh. Tekra enemies are infused with Effervon and take damage over time. They explode when killed and leave behind deadly Effervon in their wake. That sounds pretty dangerous. And for your final mission, for Hell Scrub, you have the modifiers as follows. Now, something to keep in mind as well, guys, if you destroy the Babao enemies of this, they will drop a yellow item on the ground. You bring that yellow item over to a life support module, a Hell Scrubber, and you push the interact button with the yellow item in your hands. It will actually reduce the mission timer. So just keep that in mind. Kill the Babaos right away, waypoint them, team shot them. It makes the mission take less time. But that's not a modifier, that's just how these work. So, as far as the modifiers for your Hell Scrub, Tekrot tumors appear near Hell Scrubbers, increasing the rate of life support decay with each active tumor. So destroy those with melee attacks. Scaldra Speedrun. All enemies are replaced with Scaldra and move much faster. Okay, that sounds interesting. And the final one, Beyond the Wall. Murmur enemies join the ranks with Scaldra and the Tekrot. Wow, so it's going to be Scaldra and Murmur against us. Very interesting. As far as your individual modifiers, Ammo Deficit gives you less ammo. Fractured Armor gives you less armor. Secondary Wounds. Gain 1 puncture sets for every time you take damage. And Powerless, you cannot cast wounds until you get 50 kills. Fractured Armor is not that big of a deal, so pretty weird modifiers for sure. At least there's no Toxin Proc tank boss fight, huh? So let's go back to the, check out the Elite Deep Archimedea. So yes, we have lots of weeklies in this game now, so we're not going to extensively cover the Incarnons as much as usual. I mean, the Incarnons have been in the game for about 2 years, so we're going to basically just give a lowdown of what's good, what's bad, and we're going to move on from there. So, yeah, don't expect every Incarnon perk to be meticulously explained. If you do want that an in-depth explanation of the Incarnons, I do have videos on most of the good Incarnons, like pretty much all of the ones from this week besides one of them, so you can just go ahead and hunt those down on my channel if you'd like. Okay, so we're going to the next planet now, which is going to be Deimos, the Sanctum Anatomica. This is going to be the other Elite Weekly, and this is where these Netrocell Search Pulses will originate from. You get, like I said earlier, you get 5 of them per week. You're going to use 2 of them to activate the Elite Deep Archimedea, and 2 of them to activate the Elite Temporal Archimedea. So after you do both of those, you will have 1 Netrocell Search Pulse left to do a normal Netrocell we talked to Tag for. If you have all that stuff unlocked, you're getting the maximum loot per week, including Archon green shards and Archon purple shards potentially. Okay, so here we are. We're not going to go over this as much because a lot of people know about this more nowadays. But yeah, looks like we got Survival as your first mission, which is going to have Limitus in it and also Parasitic Towers, which is... This actually looks like a very deadly survival. Exploding enemies, Limitus, and Parasitic Towers. The second mission is going to be Disruption, where enemies can destroy the conduit, you define purpose. Also, enemies are going to have Guardian Eximus, and that's pretty much it. And then the final mission will be the final boss fight, and it's going to be Coordinated Front, where Eximus will support the Fragmented Tide. Explosive Potential, Rupturing Fragments replace Shuffling Fragments, so very deadly explosions will be going down with the enemies, the crawling arm enemies that die. And Myopic Munitions, enemies will have, they will only be able to damage within 50 meters, so a very, very annoying Elite Deep Archimedea. The Temporal Archimedea look really easy compared to this. You also got Powerless here, too. Powerless everywhere, huh? Well, looks like we have a new modifier, though, called Hypersensitive. Duration of negative status effects is tripled. A new modifier. Okay, so maybe try to get some status immunity in this one. This looks pretty evil, for sure. Also, Ability Overload. Another new modifier. Using an ability opens a Void Rift nearby. Oh, gosh. This looks awful. This looks totally awful. Okay, well, good luck with that one. You could also go and talk to Bird 3 on this planet to get the Shiny Treasures button and get a blue Archon shard for 30k rep, and it will rotate which type of shard it is once per week, or basically a weekly reset. And there is no extra shard like Bird 3 on the Hex Syndicate yet, unfortunately. Maybe DE will add that eventually. Okay, so now that we've gone over that, let's go ahead and take a look at the Archon Hunt and the Incarnons. These are going to be some good Incarnons this week, but like I said, I'm not going to go over it too much in depth because I know a lot of you guys know about this stuff already. Alright, let's start the normal circuit. Now, as far as normal circuit, you have Excalibur, who's been massively buffed, and this unlike Excalibur Umbra, Excalibur Normal actually doesn't even have Umbra Formas on his sword, which could be a good thing in some cases. Trinity Normal or Ember Normal. As far as the best one to pick to get an easy farm, they're all boss fight frames, but Trinity is from Ambulance. Ambulance fight takes a while, so you can probably save yourself the time for doing Trinity here. Now for the Steel Path Incarnons, again, we're not going to go in depth on these, but we have the Dara Incarnon, Sestra Incarnon, Okina Incarnon, Cerberus Incarnon, and the Sicarus Incarnon. If you don't want to grab any of those, you can grab Kuva or Ribbons instead if you have a high enough intrinsic level. Okay, so the Dara Incarnon, its Incarnon form, after it gives some headshots, is a high-powered magnetic explosion beam, basically. It's pretty good. I'd recommend it. I've got a video up on the channel. It's not the top tier recommendation this week, though. It's probably like 3rd or 4th place. The Sestra Incarnon is one of the least used Incarnons in all of Warframe. It requires like 100 bullets to be fired, and then after that 100 bullets have been fired, you will get increased crit on the bullets after that. But yeah, it's really annoying to do that in the first place. I would not recommend it. It's still strong, but it's lower tier. The Okina Incarnon is the #1 recommendation this week. Once you get a 6x multiplier, you will release ice daggers that will hunt down enemies and freeze them solid. It can do a lot more than that. It's also a mobility stat stick, and it's really, really powerful. You can put on the Okina Normal or the Okina Prime, and the Okina Normal has higher Riven stats than the Okina Prime, but the Okina Prime has very good base stats. So yeah, great one this week to go for. The Cerberus Prime is a rifle. You might have just gotten the deck Cerberus from the anniversary alerts, and that's going to be a great Incarnon. It goes into Incarnon form with a 4-round burst with forced blast procs after you get some headshots. It's a lower tier recommendation than the Okina, but still very, very powerful. And if you have the deck Cerberus from the anniversary, I highly recommend it. Maybe even first place choice you have that. And the last one's the Sicarus Incarnon. This will be the #2 recommendation this week because it's a really, really good precision pistol. After you get some headshots, the bullets will AoE ricochet to nearby enemies, and it can do a lot of damage with some of these perks. So yeah, as far as recommendations this week, guys, #1 Okina, #2 Sicarus, #3 Cerberus, #4 Dara, and #5 Sestra. You could definitely put the Cerberus #1 if you have the deck Cerberus from the anniversary, but yeah, a lot of us have the Cerberus Prime already. Now for your Archon hunt, you've got the Owl Archon, and the mission types are Spy, Defense, and the Final Boss Showdown. Defense definitely takes a while on this tile set, unfortunately. I'm just also receiving a report that for the Elite Templar Archimedea, you must capture 3 Legacytes for that modifier, or for that mission. Okay, for the Nightwave, a lot of players have gotten to rank 30 this week. I did get the Tekra armor. It does look pretty good on Nidus. You want to take a quick look at that. This is the level 30 armor. Now, you do have to have a infested look for sure. Like, this is also the new infested ephemera. But yeah, this is the new Tekra armor. This green TV screen cannot be altered. The green cannot be altered, unfortunately. So just keep that in mind if you do get this level 30 armor, that you have to make a look work that has this gigantic green TV screen on it. So I do wish that it was altered. You could alter it, but it does not seem like you can. But as far as those Nightwave challenges, you've got the first one being forward thinking, destroy a cruise ship with a forward artillery. Next one, Protector, complete 3 mole defense missions. Elite Weekly, Fallen Angel, defeat 5 Void Angels in the Zeramon. And Perplex, complete 3 Deviri puzzles. I'm glad I don't have to do that one. You got your permanent weeklies of kill Eximus, complete missions, and kill 500 enemies. For your crit offering store, let's see what we got this week. I saw a Dante helmet. Evergreen stuff at the top as per usual. Ooh, there's a Comey helmet here. Looks like I don't even have this Comey helmet. Wow. Pretty nice looking Comey helmet. Comey's new augment seems pretty strong. So maybe grab that and the augment. Some other good stuff here too. We've got some augment mods here. Now for the Coda Sporothrix and the Catabalist, those augments are not available in this store. So just keep that in mind, that you will have to buy those from other players for platinum, unfortunately. But as far as some good stuff to grab here, Steel Charge is great. Holster Amp is great. Napalm Grenades can be okay as well. Energy 7 can be okay as well. So yeah, some pretty good stuff there. Also Pangolin Sword Blueprint, Heat Dagger Blueprint, Dark Dagger Blueprint, and Prism Guard is here as well. If you play Mirage, it's a pretty decent one to try out. And that's going to basically be your weekly reset this week, guys. I did try to make it where I'm not going to be talking about the Incarnons as much, because a lot of you guys know about those already. But yeah, tons of good stuff to go over as far as the new Elite Weekly. Get that, those Archon Tau Shard. I got purple Tau Shard, a green Tau Shard last week. Yeah, great stuff there. So I'll see you guys on stream, and I'll see you in the next video in about 12 hours. Have a great night, guys. Good luck with those weeklies. Peace!